Okay.
Ooh, look at that. F3's pressed. We're going to get King of the Hill, round 27 live. And by the way, I'm Grease Scotsman. My co-host tonight's Jahar, and we are live. Jahar, you want to take us away?
Sure do, and it's going to be Gotti getting the stairwell by the LG right off the bat, and he's going to be skipping the LG, going for Mega Health right away, doubling back for LG, and taking the long way up to go and get himself some yellow armor. On the other hand, Nitrogen has got a red armor rocket launcher start. He's also got himself an LG and plasma gun. No initial rails pickup so far, and so far Gotti has been staying at the lower tier of the map, and we've been seeing Nitrogen keeping the higher ground, but that's a second red armor pickup for him, and he's looking like he's going to be ready to ambush Mega.
Yeah, he's got a good position on it too, and Gotti doesn't even show. Let's go take a look at Gotti. He's gotten himself that first Mega, and it looks like at least one yellow armor. He's at 43 armor, and he's looking for red. This is where the first battle is really going to break out, and he walks into that rocket, and is now into rail range, down to 41 health, getting tickled in the ass by a little bit of LG. He's got to pick his exit, and this is, yeah, basically, a little bit of hesitation there for Gotti. Lost him the lead. Nitrogen picks up frag number 1. Now, Nitrogen says that, you know, he's new. Ooh, nice aggressive move by Gotti. Lands a rocket right into Nitrogen's head. And, you know, unable to do enough damage to push Nitro off of RA, but definitely getting some damage done. Let's go take a look. Gotti armorless right now and not in position to get YA. It's about to get picked up by Nitrogen, so Gotti has his work cut out for him as he RJs across and over Nitro. This is kind of the wrong place to be because you don't have any way in on red armor. And so if Gotti doesn't have one yet, he needs a railgun, and he didn't spend the time to go get that. Instead, he went back to go get some 25s to get at least full health. Problem, though, is he now needs to cross the map without getting any armor. And he will not be in good shape to take any fights.
Yeah, and this is especially a really bad place to be. Let's see if he can get out of there alive. But I'm wondering if he has his headphones on straight. We did hear Mega Health get picked up, but he was still creeping over looking for the ambush. And there's red armor being picked up again, so good timing from Nitrogen so far. But nope, Nitrogen has taken an early control of the map, and so far we've only seen one or two real fights, and only one frag has come out of it, and Gotti shows up way early, and he's here on the red armor itself. Instead of hanging out under the bridge, where he could afford himself some room, he RJs straight up, puts himself right into harm's way, and
this is actually really big.
Just back up now. Yeah.
Nitro's timing is off. He thought that red was taken, but Gotti didn't.
Gotti thought that red was taken too. Oh.
Yeah. Exactly. So Nitro's going to get a freebie, yellow and RA, and will be back in time for Mega. So Gotti basically needs to just disappear, and he actually is just RJing all over the map right now, and essentially losing whatever, like, oh, wait, did he just steal that Mega? Ooh. No.
Left was 19 health.
Yeah.
But that last play, that was something I'm sure that both players are going to watch at a later date and kind of facepalm, because they both assumed that the other player got the red armor, and it was left up for a while. Nitrogen got the better end of that deal. Gotti did grab himself a Mega Health. That did save his ass, but now he's low on health, and he's going to have to go back to pillars to grab some more.
He's been spotted, though. So Nitro, honestly, he could just go aggressive right now and just go get a kill. We've got YA and Mega coming up at the same time. Obviously, Nitro is going to position himself nicely for Mega. He's backing away from it, so I think Nitro's timing is breaking down, and he really wants to secure. And as you can see, this is actually the wrong item to be getting. For Nitro, looking at what stack he had, his priority should have been Mega, because he already had about 170 armor and full health. Mega would have been the better grab for him. And given where we knew that Gotti was, he could have positioned himself such where he could get both RA and Mega. Instead, he gave up Mega. So now he's got 90 health and 200 armor. He's going to go back up to 200 armor, but Gotti's got an in. If he can, we just hear him pick up some shards. If he can not take damage here, he's back for Mega. He might be pushed off of it. But now he can at least get YA. Nitrogen's going to look for a long range. And looks like Gotti came up behind him. So Gotti still doesn't have armor. Let's go take a look at him. 25. Yeah, just the shards.
And as vulnerable as Gotti has been, Nitrogen has been really relying on rockets a whole lot, and there's a lot of damage done to him. Gotti's left with 22 health, and it's still about 10 seconds before Mega comes back up. He's going to be going for bridge, 25 health, and looking to come up on this, but I'm not sure if he wants to be here to attack on this. Here it comes.
Right, and for Gotti, you know, there's still another opening for Mega. It's going to look way too tasty, and that should have been an anticipated shot. Instead, Gotti's going to
down the path.
Yeah,
nice.
That was a great shot, and that basically saved Gotti's life from a really easy kill. Getting out of here, though, Nitrogen's aim's a little bit off. Now, this is where things really could kind of swing the other way. We're looking at, you know, we're at 5:30, so we're definitely past the halfway point. Nitrogen's still controlling the items, though, and so what Gotti really needs to do is he needs to catch Nitrogen out. That's a great mid-air shot, perfectly placed, and that'll give him frag number 2. So, Gotti, I think, not really knowing when he has opportunities coming his way. You know, he doesn't change his play style like, okay, here's my in. And hopefully, you know, watching some of the VODs here, he'll kind of be able to say, okay, I had an opportunity here, I could have pushed in, I could have timed this item, you know, that type of thing. Because Nitrogen's not really tightly timing anything. He's definitely showing up for it whenever he just happens
Indeed, and
upon
this has been, by a wide proportion here, a very rocket-heavy map. I don't know if anybody's picked up a rail yet, at all. Nitrogen certainly doesn't have one.
Alright, so just to bring this thing totally off topic, we have a definition for Swamp Donkey. Ready?
Yeah, I was just reading that.
Swamp Donkey.
Good to know.
A really sloppy, annoying, and usually slightly overweight sorority girl. She's most likely the black sheep of the group. This girl will be the most drunk, the most forward, and the most not attractive.
Wow. Now,
Ooh, Gotti.
I have a word to describe so many people I know.
Now, Gotti had his back turned to Nitrogen as Nitrogen came down YA. Gotti was expecting him to come pillars. Instead, he came from the YA platform, so lucky to not die.
Oh, this is huge. Nitrogen has only one rocket left. After he uses that one, he's going to have to switch to something else. It's going to be LG. He's going to get pushed off of red. He did get the grab, though, and he's still left with 94 armor. Uh-oh.
But Mega's gone. So 2.5 minutes left to
Mega.
go.
Come back. Don't leave
You know,
me.
if Gotti can take care of Nitrogen before he can restock, then this thing will be really close. Oh, that's a great rocket. Gotti's down, I think. No, Nitrogen's scared of him. He's backing off. But if we take a look, Gotti was pretty much dead. Ooh, nice rocket from Gotti. So we got about 2 minutes. Gotti's still.
2 minutes, and we're looking at 2-0. Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible.
So if he keeps shoving down rockets down Nitrogen's throat the way he has been and follows up with some sort of finisher, this is still completely doable, but right now Nitrogen's chasing him down. He's got blood, and oh, right in mid-jump, Nitrogen lands a perfect rocket. And it's going to be number 3, and that could seal the fate of Gotti here. Yeah,
I think so. And I think Gotti's complaining about weapon switch. I don't know. But honestly, I think Nitrogen, you know, I'm hoping that he's picking up on the fact that Gotti likes to run. He likes to kind of hit and run. He doesn't stick around to finish battles. And that's actually the right choice for Gotti, because we've seen how hard of a time he's had. And this is a mistake by Gotti. One good rocket will put him down. But you know, the hit and run thing is actually a good thing for Gotti, because he hasn't had access to armor for most of the map, and that's just thanks to Nitrogen playing it well. That's a nice square rocket. That'll give him frag number 4, and that pretty much will give him this map. And so, did we figure out who the next challenger is going to be for Nitrogen?
It's going to be Redshift, and I did want to comment that as many holes as Nitrogen has been leaving open for Gotti, he's been doing a pretty solid job of taking this nice red armor, yellow armor, mega health approach.
I'm actually going to ask, I'm trying to remind myself how the Wisp played. I kind of think he was decent. I did we see him on like Furious Heights or something?
Or something. Anywho, 15 seconds left to go here. Red is up, Mega is up. We could be seeing a potential trade-off. Yep, Nitrogen's going to get Mega, Gaudy's going to get red armor, but unless you can make 4 frags in the next 5 seconds, nope, this one's over. And our next contender is going to be Redshift. Thank you to PV for having such an awesome bot to work with here.
Yeah, PV is pretty darn awesome. So, all right. So Gaudy hops off, and our current king is Nitrogen, a newcomer to King of the Hill, and rocking a 200 ping, by the way. So we'll see if that becomes an issue for him. I think this is a good choice.
This is going to be an interesting map for Nitrogen because probably due to his ping, he hasn't been using a lot of LG, and this is going to be a very, very LG heavy map. Reading IRC is like death for shoutcasters. Seriously.
Yeah, it really is. All right, I'm gonna go live. I'm liking the fact that everyone's pressing F3 quick as balls tonight. So, and balls are pretty quick.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch Redshift out of the gate. He's gonna get center yellow and straight to Mega. No weapons, and so he actually leaves. Yeah, he leaves the Mega. And he's actually, I think, a little bit lucky. He's collected 2 yellows and Mega, and so I think that maybe Nitro isn't familiar enough with the map. Because, I mean, given the Redshift start, that should have been a horrible chain of events for him. Instead, he came out on top, was able to get weapons, was able to get both yellows, able to get Mega, and his next task will be getting at least one of these yellows. We've got LG YA coming up now. Grenade Launcher YA is up right now. Mega in 2. Redshift will probably wait out for it, and given the positioning, he'll be able to get both armors. He has a chance to get all 3 here if he waits center. And honestly, he should just hold center map and wait for Nitro to come to him.
And actually, I'm still thinking about that initial play where Redshift was going for Mega and was going, you know, he was going to grab Mega and go towards the grenade launcher. Ha! Nice. But instead, he had to go back for Mega and ended up coming back up the same stairs he went down. So that kind of postponed the initial matchup, and it put him on the opposite end of the map, and that afforded him the time to grab LG and get the weapon in there. Now we're looking at 3-0. Redshift just grabbing Mega, RJing straight out, and Nitrogen walks into a nice meaty pair of rockets. That's going to be number 4. So for Nitrogen right now, what are we looking for him to change up?
Well, I think the biggest thing is map knowledge, because you can see that Redshift has it, and Nitrogen does not. Redshift, when he RJ'd out of Mega, he purposefully turned and looked at the teleporter exit point and prepared a shot, because he knew that he was vulnerable from that location given where he last saw Nitro. So really nice read by Redshift. Nitro, on the other hand, I think is maybe not played this map very much. That's a nice rocket from him, though. I've switched over to his point of view, and now he's got the height advantage, and he's smart to back away before he lost his armor against that LG. Mega in 20, and Nitro moving very cautiously, anticipating a move at or towards the center yellow. Now, Mega, yeah, he's trying to time Mega, and of course it's not there. We know it's not coming up for about 10 seconds. Now, if I were Nitro, I'd be working on getting one more yellow before really taking a fight. Now, those shards are really important. Had he picked up the 4 shards that are right near the teleporter, plus the others that are at the lightning gun, he actually would have started that fight with like another, what, 30? Ooh. Yeah, he just got destroyed by Redshift's LG.
Now, here's one thing I'm noticing from Nitro. We're seeing him use his rockets as kind of a probe to find out where Redshift is. He's spamming into places to see if he can get a donk or not. But this is the kind of map where, by the amount of time it takes for you to use that as kind of your sonar, he's already going to be cutting you off. So you really need to be able to know where your opponent is at all times, and not spam so much, but get ahead of your opponent, because by the time you hear or don't hear him, he's going to be in front of you, especially at the LG yellow armor. That is going to be a very huge death trap if he gets in front of you.
Yeah. Now, we could see in that last exchange, Nitro, really just needing map knowledge, I think. That's the biggest deficit here. Because, you know, I was anticipating the move through the teleporter. He's just kind of jumping past it, heading straight for health, and not really protecting and shooting defensive at that teleporter exit as he jumps across for the health. So, you know, there are definitely some plays that now we should expect a shot Okay, he's kind of lucky to get this 50. I've kind of lost track of where Redshift might be.
He's currently rocking the middle with a really huge stack. 165 and 145. First rocket's going to knock some of it down. Actually, Nitrogen got a clean escape there, but Redshift with the teleporter knowledge, he's going to be able to cut off Nitrogen here. And yeah, speed is a huge deal of this because right now Nitrogen really doesn't have anywhere to go without Redshift knowing it.
Yeah, we're going to switch back over to Redshift's point of view. Nitro should be able to collect that Mega. He does, but he comes up walking into an LG. Redshift looks like he's going to just kind of let him go. I'm not really sure what that was about. I think maybe he's trying to size up maybe a potential handicap enable, I would hope, because we're just now passing the halfway point in this match. But yeah, I don't think Nitro knows the teleporter patterns, because I have yet to really see him anticipate one of Redshift's movements through them. So we'll see, you know, remaining 5 minutes. Redshift's going to reclaim Mega. Low on armor, picking up grenade launcher. So that's one yellow to his name. Nitrogen should have a little bit. Yeah, he's got 100 armor now. Really weak on health. Nice square rocket there. He almost gets another. And yeah, see there, he sort of lost track. He doesn't know quite what the sounds mean. You know, sounds giving away location. He was actually looking up the stairs rather than down the hallway over towards LG.
Right.
So, I mean, you know, Nitro, he does have some pretty good moves, and you know, his aim isn't too bad. He's shooting 40% with rockets, but map knowledge is just kind of kicking his butt right now. So we'll go back over to Redshift.
Yeah, that, and especially since, you know, T9 is such a huge emphasis on spatial awareness and knowing where your opponent is, especially with the inclusion of those teleporters. Really tight map, and you can just see in the way that Redshift is moving, he's moving to cut off Nitrogen with everything he does. And so Nitrogen is just walking into a lot of fights where even if Redshift takes a bit of damage from it, Redshift is going to get that first shot in, and yeah, here Nitrogen has nowhere to go. But Redshift looks like he's going to throw that out, and there is a Mega grab by Nitrogen, but here in the middle, it's not going to be enough, and Redshift is going to be taking frag number 13.
Yeah, and I think that one of the biggest differences between these two players, due to the map knowledge, that's a nice rocket there. There's a pair that will get him on the board, 13-1, very nice. You know, as you can see, you know, Nitrogen definitely has some aiming skill, and it's all about the brain work at this point for him. But I think, you know, the one thing that map knowledge affords Redshift is anticipating Nitrogen's movements. Nitrogen is reacting to Redshift's movements, and that means that even in this case, you know, Redshift has a chance to get that opening shot probably 80 to 90% of their encounters. And that opening damage, that initial shot, can make or break so many battles. And as we can see, they gave obviously 13 to Redshift's favor. And if I were Redshift, I would go steal that 50. I would have stolen that 50, even though he's at 99 health, because we knew that Nitrogen needed it.
Well, he's still at 122, and Nitrogen did not get the pickup, so still picked up by Redshift. Nitrogen's going to be heading over towards Mega, and this is actually a trend where we're seeing Redshift's lockdown kind of go away. But again, Nitrogen's movement here is just getting him backed into the walls, and Redshift can just take that initiative and just pound on him. And just like you were saying, that initial damage, this map is all about kind of the touch and go battles, and whoever gets that first touch, well, they're not going to be the one who goes.
Yeah. And that corner, that RL corner for Nitrogen, has been a nightmare, I would say. I think maybe a fourth.
Yeah, in T9, you know, if you let your opponent have it, there are a few nightmarish bits here. There's that rocket launcher corner, like you just mentioned. There's the water yellow armor, and there's the LG yellow armor. Just horrible places to be if you're not aware of where your opponent's coming from.
Yeah, and I would say that because they're all corners, you know, you kind of get stuck there, and your exits are pretty obvious in those situations. So we'll see. We're rolling around to the final minute of this match. Redshift has it in hand. Although, you know, I have seen Nitrogen, he's moving a little bit differently since even the very beginning, and he's feeling a bit more ballsy about, you know, challenging for stuff and pushing in. You know, so I think he's starting to kind of pick up the workings of the map a little bit more. And my hope is that he will practice this map, because I think most duelers would agree that this map has really become a huge favorite, because it's very fast paced. The way that that's nice rockets from Redshift. Very fast paced, but then you also have this, you know, great dynamic of resource control. And yeah, I mean, it's great stuff. So.
Yeah, this map is definitely a teacher. It might be a harsh teacher sometimes and a harsh mistress, but when you're getting into duel, this is definitely something you don't want to leave by the wayside. Now, just about 10 seconds left, and we're looking at 23-1. I am glad that Nitrogen got on the board, but he won't be sticking around, and we're going to be seeing Redshift move on.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember. Let's run the stats here. 23-1 is the final score. Redshift is going to take the crown. Accuracy of 34% overall, and best weapon rocket launcher for Redshift. Nitrogen a bit less, 17%, and best weapon